Hey, what's up guys, Thermo11 here. Here's a discussion on arguably the best anime of the season, Rokka no Yuusha. So, in the last episode of Rokka Braves of the Six Flowers, Adlet tries to go through the whole situation with the barrier and how the Sun-Sate was used for this whole plan of framing him, and he even backs us up when they are able to find the body of the Sun-Sate inside a fiend. My whole thing is, why was he suspicious in the first place? It really seemed like they were just looking for someone to blame and kill, and they can't be this dense, In a realistic situation, I wouldn't even want to work with these people. Someone blames me, you believe them with a little proof, and then you try to kill me. That's messed up. None of you are trustworthy. Also, if you're going to the lengths of lying, shouldn't that make you suspicious as well? Seriously, Adlet had to prove that he wasn't suspicious to everyone. First to Flemmy, next Hans, then Chamon, Flemmy again, and it's just too much. I think the whole situation started with Hans kind of blaming Adlet for being the seventh brave, and who else was? I know Mora was adding on to it and stuff. I think it was because of him like defending Flemmy and everything like that. So like the blame goes off of Flemmy and then it goes on to Adlet, and I don't really like that. I think in a realistic situation people would be irrational, but I don't think they would be that irrational. It just seems a little bit weird, and there are certain things that they haven't really explored. Let me see if I wrote that down. Okay. Did I just say KKK? That's not cool. I don't know if I wrote it down, but like the seventh brave, there's supposed to be six braves. If there's a seventh brave and they wanted to join, maybe you should ask like what's their point for joining. Maybe they actually do want to help out or something like that. I don't know, but it just seems a little bit strange. I don't know if I have anything else to add on to like the first part of the discussion. It just I just wish they were a little bit more rational, because it just seems like, any sort of information comes up, any sort of information about their backstory. Yeah, you're the seventh. Okay, yeah, you're very suspicious. Something like that. And Mora, you're suspect number one. I can't talk for anything. You're suspect number one for even putting the blame onto Adlet and then lying just to get him killed. You should be kicked out of the group for even doing that. And think about this. What if you had to take care of the class hamster? Somehow the hamster dies either around you or after you're done with the hamster. You're giving it back to the teacher. People blame you and call you names. You then have to prove to them that you didn't do it. Then people are acting buddy-buddy with you and acting concerned. I would be pissed and disappointed. You're not my friends, The way this situation goes in the anime, he proves to all of them that he's not the seventh brave, but Mora is still kind of against him, and she's like, who's the seventh brave and all that, and then he's like, the seventh brave is, and the episode ends and everyone's just like, what? But it's just, I feel like in certain situations you shouldn't have to prove yourself. If you know you're right, their opinion shouldn't mean anything to you. But in this situation, they are trying to kill him. But in a realistic situation, if they didn't try to kill him, I myself wouldn't really try to prove anything to them. And I feel like the situation could go that way, This guy had to work and pretty much fight everyone to get them on his side. Hans and Flemmy are allies. Chamon is okay. Mora, Nashtania, and Goldoff, as far as I'm concerned, they should never be considered allies. Mora may have all that information, but she really wants things to be done, and I have a Facebook message, but she really wants things to be done whether they're right or wrong. Nashtania is simply crazy. She swung that sword thing around, and she randomly loses her mind against Adlet. Even if Adlet did hurt or kill Hans, which he didn't, she didn't really like him earlier, so why is she so concerned now? She was against Hans for blaming Adlet, What's wrong with Nashtania? She has something going on in her head. And Goldoff, I just don't like Goldoff. He blindly follows the princess. He was against Adlet when he first came in, and that's probably because he likes her, but he was against Adlet in the first, when he was first introduced. He just seems unlikable. I don't really like the characters that follow others. I would like, if you want my opinion of him to change, I would like him to get more of a central role, not always be with Nashtania. I want to see what he thinks without the princess, because he does have his own thoughts and everything. Of course, he's a different person, but we don't really get that much of him. You know, they'll argue a little bit back and forth, but you know, at the end of the day, he's probably going to follow the princess. But the way this whole discussion started, once they arrived at the temple, it was crazy. You know, every time they jumped on someone with a little proof, they went and ran with it. You're the seventh brave. Nope, I'm going to defend them, and now I'm considered the seventh brave. And Adlet seems to be like the only one that can think. He took everything into account, and he came up with a situation that could possibly be right. And this was so good. This is such a good anime because the writing is good. It's coming up with things that I wouldn't even think of, you know, things that I wouldn't even take into account. I know the Sun Saint was mentioned a lot, but I wasn't really paying attention to every single detail. And this is a light novel. So turning a light novel into an anime and being faithful to the adaptation seems pretty good, if it is faithful. I know it's going really slow compared for what some people think. Some people think this is slow, but I think it's a very good pace, and I might discuss that later. But let me see. It's just the writing's good. I don't know. This is why I don't try to add things onto my videos while I'm discussing them. It's just like a lot of things were taken into account. A lot of things were talked about like scientifically. They were talked about on a different level, and I really think that helps out the series. I hope it gets a second season. But yeah, that's the end of the discussion. I just feel like a lot of the Braves are stupid. I feel like they're idiots. And thanks for watching. Check out my channel for anime reviews, cartoon reviews, discussions, video game reviews, and video game discussions, and more. My Facebook and Twitter are below. Add me, let's be friends. And I will see you guys later for the next video. Peace.